Good evening and welcome to sports. I'm Hoshida. Despite all the rain this morning, we had plenty of action on the diamond today, starting in Arcata with the 4th-ranked team in the nation, Humboldt State. The senior's college career has been anything but smooth. In fact, as his name might suggest, it's been a bit rocky. Well, it's shake and bake time, as the great Ricky Bobby would say. NASCAR is back with the great American race, the Daytona 500. Everyone has their experts, a bear, a manatee, Jimmy Fallon has his puppies. Well, we couldn't be outdone, so we found our own Super Bowl psychic. You guys had a big loss kind of on Monday against Arcata, Big 5 opponent. What'd you guys do to wash that away and just get ready for this big rivalry game? Athletes take the tests early on to test their cognitive functions, their reflex abilities, their reaction times as a baseline. Then if they are hit and there's an injury in question, they take it again. The Humboldt State football player arrested for sexual assault has been dismissed from the team. 25-year-old Raul Sierra was arrested on Thursday for an alleged sexual assault that occurred last November in a campus residence hall. There's so much going on this weekend, but the best thing about it, with the storms and everything, it's indoors, because that football season towards the end was not very fun out there.
Brutal.
Every once in a while, an athlete comes along that transcends winning or losing. Majesta Hibbert is that special of a person. When you see her, you might think she has a disability, but the sophomore wrestler doesn't see it that way.
I'm not fragile and really disabled, that I am strong and I am a competitor.
What stands out about Majesta is her lack of acceptance that her disability is going to hold her back.
She's not going to let it change her life. She knows that no matter what, she's going to do whatever it can. She's not going to let it stop her.
Majesta doesn't have full functionality of her arms. She never has. That's not stopping her from trying a new sport that arms are a vital asset.
When I found out how important they were, I decided that I didn't care because I've never let that stop me before. Why should I let it stop at this?
She doesn't want anybody to give her the easy way out, and just, she's just determined to go be successful at something that most everybody would say, hey, she doesn't have a chance to be successful at.
All of her hard work paid off. Her final match of the season was one to remember. She got her first ever pin.
The gym erupted. I was like, man, something really crazy has happened.
I won, and we won, and I wasn't expecting everyone to hug me after that, like that, and people cried.
I was crying, and it was just the most inspirational thing I think anybody in that whole gym could have seen that day. That was just so powerful.
They were just lit up like light bulbs, and it was just the highlight not only of that day, but maybe of a lot of them for their whole season.
Inspiring is an easy word to describe Majesta, but there are other characteristics that are just as defining.
Determined.
Amazing.
The joy of winning. That smile.
Majesta likes the word diff-abled.
Disabled means I can do anything just in my own way. And that goes for the smallest things and the biggest things, from brushing my teeth to wrestling.
I couldn't have said it any better. For News Channel 3 Sports, I'm Hoshida. We are going to head indoors for some March Madness. The NCAA tourney is busting brackets at a blazing rate this year. Let's see who survived today. A win for the men likely gives them a playoff home game. Here's Malik Morgan driving to the rack. He gets blocked, but Justin Everett, he's going to put it back. One hand slam, Humboldt down 25-19. A little later, Will Taylor, the Arcata product, putting his head down off the glass and in. Jacks are down 31-23. Late first half now, it's Rattler shaking and baking the rattlesnake. He had 11. Humboldt down 8. Final seconds of the half. Everett going up and over. Cuts the deficit to 43-33, but second half, the Chico State Wildcats were too much. Isaiah Ellis knocks down the jumper. He had 19. Chico State goes on to win 82-74. Number 2, Malik Morgan. He returned home to Oregon and had an outstanding game. 20 points, 4 assists, 3 rebounds, and 2 Curry dunks, as I'm calling those. Those are little baby dunks. He finished the year with 13.5 points per game, 5 assists. He is also a first-team All-CC2A, and he's coming back next year. First, it was the women, 73-64 in double overtime. They overcame a 16-point fourth quarter deficit, then dominated the second overtime. Foster had 18 points and 10 rebounds. Out to the Sunshine State final round of Honda Classic. Moment of the day, Gary Woodland, no pants, no problem from the water hazard. He had white pants on, so he didn't want to get them wet or dirty. I can respect that. He goes from hazard to bunker, but he ends up getting up and down for par. So no pants, no problem. I like that. I'm good with that. To the leader on 12, Adam Scott from the bunker himself. He throws a dart in there to a foot. That's a pretty shot. He's going to tap that in and take the one-shot lead, and that's how it finished. Adam Scott wins his 12th PGA Tour event. And moments later, Brianna Shop, not window shopping. That's going out of the park. Kiss it goodbye. They go on to win 7-1. Kyla Clapham had trouble keeping the count in her favor today.
Sometimes you get behind the count a little bit and you have to come back at them. And
Number 4, Hannah Holland, the sophomore outfielder for the Lady Jacks this week. 14 of 25. That's batting .560, so that's pretty good. 3 RBI, including a game-winning walk-off hit Friday that you're seeing here, a home run, 2 doubles. She hasn't struck out in her last 11 games, and she's batting a team-high .423 at the moment. There's Chase Elliott, the rookie pole setter. He goes in to the grass. He's wrecked. Then Dale Earnhardt Jr. He goes into the wall. That's not good for anybody, but especially not good for that guy. He's just very unhappy. Then Danica Patrick goes skipping across the infield. Imagine doing that at 100 miles an hour. Steph Curry banging the drum, keep pounding is the Panthers' motto. Then you have Joe Montana, coin flip. We're going to pick up the action in the first quarter. Von Miller, he is a bad, bad man. Sack, fumble. Broncos recover in the end zone, and it is 10-0 just like that. Second quarter, Jonathan Stewart, the former Oregon Duck, diving over into the end zone. That pulls them within 3. Graham Gano can get them within 3 again in the third quarter. 40-yard field goal off the post. So it stays a 13-7 game. And then Denver, Peyton Manning handing it off to the Cal product. C.J. Anderson gets across the line. And your Denver Broncos are going to take this one. Peyton Manning, the sheriff. Is this his last rodeo? We'll find out, but for sure, he gets his second Super Bowl win. Nearly 900 runners took part in either the 4, 10, or 2-mile races. The biggest draw by far was a 2-miler because of the focus on the youth. 600 kids ages 5 to 14 raced through the historic Victorian streets. The winner crossed the finish line at just over 12 minutes. So now you know, Jackson is going with Steph Curry's favorite team. You still have time to place those last-minute bets if that's your sort of thing. Now that's it for sports. More news after the break.